Hi, welcome to the Grease Den. My name is Brad. I like to shoot out high gain amp heads, do speaker shootouts. I'm doing pedal reviews, overdrives mostly. And today we're doing something different for the first time. I'm doing a pickup review. For you guys who've been watching my channel for a while, you probably know that I like to use Avedissian pickups in a lot of my guitars. So today I will be swapping out the Black Winter, Seymour Duncan Black Winter, that is currently installed in my 1984 BC Rich U-series Ironbird. And it's sort of my favorite guitar. And I'll be swapping out the pickup. It only has one humbucker, so it'll be a pretty quick swap. I'll do some before and after comparisons with these two pickups. And this is the pickup that I got to replace it. This is a Avedissian Kulshan. Okay, this is a custom wind he did specifically for me. It does use a special magnet. I believe it's like either a combination of Alnico 5 and but it does have a unique sound, and I have a couple of these in two other guitars. I have one in the bridge of my Jackson Randy Rhoads guitar, which there is another video which highlights some of the pickups. You can see it here. The other guitar that has a Kulshan in it is my black Mark II Ironbird, BC Rich Ironbird, that has a slightly underwound version of this pickup, and I put it in the neck position. And that's an amazing pickup as well. The underwound has a little bit more top end and not quite enough push for my tastes, for my riffs, but it's very nice in a neck position. So yeah, this is the Kulshan. This one's very nice because it's been blacked out. So yeah, I asked that he overwind this, and I wanted to shave off some of the highs, keep a lot of the really tasty mids that I feel like this pickup has, and accent the lows a little bit more, and just give me a little bit more push into my pedals and into my amp, because I just like higher output pickups. And he wound this to about 16K. So it should be somewhere in between a Duncan Distortion and a Black Winter. And I love both those pickups. This pickup kind of takes after a, in my opinion, it kind of reminds me of a DiMarzio Super Distortion or a Duncan Distortion. It's kind of in that early 80s, like, you know, the early days of the hot rodded pickup humbucker, you know. This is kind of like what that reminds me of. But it's scatter wound, of course, handmade, and it has a more open tone than what you're going to get from Seymour Duncan or DiMarzio. They're just lightly wax potted, so they are very quiet, but they're not like covered in wax like some like bare knuckles might be. Yeah, and I mean, you know, he gives you the date that it was wound, and the name, and importantly the position that it was wound for. So I'm looking forward to hearing that. In the box, you get a little bit of like case candy here, a couple of stickers. Yeah, Al's like aesthetics are just bar none. You know, he really nails it with his stickers and his box, and his just everything is very, very classy and very yeah, I don't know, it's just I really enjoy looking at this art. I'll put the name of the artist in the description so you guys can check him out. Al is based out of Atlanta, and that's kind of how I know him. We go back quite a ways, and you know, like I say, you've been watching the channel, you probably know I've got like quite a few of his pickups in my guitars, and they're not the only pickup. I'm not like exclusive to Avedissian. I'm not sponsored by any means. I just like his pickups, and I like the way he does business, and he always takes care of me. And I would really recommend checking out his website, and if there's not something on there that interests you, just get in touch with him. He's extremely knowledgeable about pickups, and he can wind you anything. Hopefully you were able to hear from those sound demos the difference between the Kulshan and the Black Winter. I would say they're very close as far as output goes. The overall voicing differences, I think there's a little bit less of a jumbly sort of muddiness in the mid-range of the Kulshan. I think maybe the mids might actually be a little bit lower down in the frequency than the Black Winter. But it has an equal amount of push, and I find this to be definitely superior to my other Kulshan. However, it appears to be a little bit less balanced than the regular Kulshan. It has more low end for sure, and it sounds really great in this guitar. I'm really pleased with this. I think it destroys the Black Winter on the cleans. It's a lot more, has a lot better string clarity. And yeah, I just can't wait to do some recording with this and write some riffs to this pickup. I'm really glad that I got this. It sounds amazing. All right, so inside of here is the electronic cavity, obviously. I made this little plexiglass pick guard. The plexiglass is not the best material to use. You really want to use like a actual pick guard material, which is a little bit more rubbery and it flexes easier. This actually cracked because I didn't cut it perfectly to fit in here. And yeah, but it looks okay. I mean, it's just on this edge here, right here. You can see it's kind of cracked right here. So that's fine. Doesn't really matter. I'll get a better one. I did cut out these holes, however, to accommodate for the Becos preamp that I installed in here. And this is the preamp right here. You can see that it has, let's point with here. You can see that it has these potentiometers right here, okay? And then I've written inside of here GLM, that's gain, low, or H, GLH, so gain, lows, and highs. And it gives you an appropriate amount of boost for each of those. Originally, this had already been pre-soldered with the push pot on it here. I actually bought a nicer, I think this is Bourne's push pot, installed it, and I ran wires over here. And it took a long time to get it right. It actually had like some like volume bleed at minimum, and then I eventually figured out what was wrong with my grounding, and I got that sorted out. So battery holders right here, and then there's a really nice stereo jack here, and the stereo is just there so that when you unplug it, it shuts off the battery. So